right, this is KB2 UKA Fort Salonga. All right, who else we got on frequency? Is Richie out there?
No. Ray's in here.
Raymond, how you doing, brother?
Not bad. How are you?
Good. I think we're about 19 minutes from some AM broadcasts coming in here.
Yeah, they're just going to tune up, then they'll leave for an hour. Usually finally go away.
Yeah, that's what they do. Those pesky broadcasters. Check. All right, good. All righty, let's pop this bad boy up right here. No, I do not want that.
One up on 225 is doing a number here. All north to the right. One up on 225.
All righty. Let's see if anyone's on 80 yet.
Shelves and whatnot.
Oh,
it's crazy. But yeah, you would think, why did they stop that on Facebook? It's crazy. And now look at too. Now you had everybody was used to Windows 7, then they put 10 out, and everybody's used to 10. Now they got 11, and I don't know how long they're going to be supporting 10. But I think it's 7 or 8. Maybe it's 8 generation computers. You could put Windows 11 on. I don't think 6. It won't let you upgrade to Windows 11, but I found a way. Third generations, I could put Windows 11 Pro on it without a problem. So you find these hacks, where, it's not letting you do it, and it goes in there, this software, and turns some things off that's not letting it in, and turns other things on, and you can get all the updates, everything's normal.
Yeah, I copy that. Well, when I first got my ham radio license, which was only back in, 2008, I guess. I had a computer that was Windows XP. And started messing around with that and, started investigating into the digital modes. And I downloaded, back in that day, PSK31 Digipan, it was called. A very simple digital mode for PSK31. I downloaded that and hooked up a couple cables between the sound card on the computer and the back of my Nikon 718 that I had at the time, and then I downloaded another program for Hellschreiber and one or two other programs for the digital modes. I had absolutely no problem. I was running digital modes like crazy. And now with the computers that I have here, I'm running Linux here. And I even bought one of those rig blasters, the modem for in between the computer and the radio, and I just can't get anything to work here. It's just the progress has come along to the point now where, back in the day when I didn't know what I was doing, I figured it out. Now that I've figured some things out, I know a little bit, I can't get anything to work, so I don't do the digital modes. I tried with this computer, and it's just not happening, I guess, so I don't know, but I played enough digital modes that it really doesn't excite me that much anymore. So I'm okay with it. But like I said, with my old Windows XP computer and a couple of cables between the ICOM 718 and my computer, well, digital modes were no problem. KE3LLT.
KB2 UKA.
There he is. Hey, good evening. KF2 Golf. Yeah, I basically, all I use, and it's good, like you say, all those different modes is cool, but I'm usually just here all the time on phone. And when I was talking about Windows, I can put it on third, fourth, fifth, sixth generations where normally will not let you put 11
guys.
Pro on there.
It's beautiful.
It'll say, it's outdated, you can't do it. And I have software that will make it do it and get all the updates. But as far as paying for Windows, I pay for Windows. But so it's just the software that will let you put it on. And Doug, good evening. How are you?
What's up, Richie? Sounding marvelous as usual. Doing good. Had a relatively busy Sunday here with the family and doing a little radio before the 6:30 kickoff. Oh, boy. We're having a little Super Bowl party here in the crib. So, remember, I told you last night I got the White Castle burgers, the pigs in the blanket, the cannoli dip. We're ready to go, Rich.
I was just going to say that to you. You got the popcorn, potato chips, the Cracker Jacks, the hot dogs, hamburgers, the cannolis. Damn, you've got everything over there. I'd be knocking on the door. Hey, Doug, let me in. I brought over some pizza, too. Let's have some pizza.
Well, I told you you're welcome. Anytime. Just about an hour drive east of Manhattan with no traffic. It could be 3 hours, depending on when you leave. But you guys are both sounding good. Who else is in there?
You're a good laddie, Doug. And, I don't know if you know Les. Les, pick it up.
Yeah, all right there, Doug. Well, nice to meet you. I think, what is it called, KB2UBK? I wrote it down there, but I could be wrong at that. I don't hear so well anymore. But the name here is Les, here near Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, in the Poconos. Call is K3LLT, Kilo 3 Lima Tango.
All right, Les, Roger. Well, you're booming into Long Island, 15 over, beautiful audio, nice signal. The call is Kilo Bravo 2, Uniform Kilowatt Alpha. But you were pretty close, not too shabby, sounding great. Fort Salonga, New York, which, as I was saying, is 50 miles east of Manhattan, right on the North Shore. I'm about a quarter mile from the Long Island Sound. We're running an Apache Lab 7000, an On 7000, legal limit with a VK3 amp. That's driving a 80-meter doublet, 600 ohm ladder line all the way to the tuner. And that's up about 70 feet. Over.
Yeah, okay, Doug. Well, hey, it's certainly doing a nice job for you. The Apache Lab sounds good. Yeah, you're 15 to 20 over here. Well, the equipment on this end is just a TS-890 into a Mercury 3 and into an end-fed dipole. Well, it's not a dipole. End-fed wire antenna just strung out into the backyard.
Well, Les, it's doing a marvelous job for you. I was probably the fourth or fifth owner of a Kit Mercury 3. I just sold it, 3-4 months ago. I wanted full legal limit. I know there's no difference, but I run a lot of audio compression. And what I noticed the amp was struggling to really get past 900 watts. And when I'd use it on a regular radio without the audio stuff, it would do 1300, no problem. But this thing here, the VK3 amp, it's 2000 watts, so I've got enough headroom, and I'm hitting you with 1489 now. Doesn't miss a beat. Over.
Yeah, okay, on the 1489. Well, you're just a needle's width under 20 over here. So, this was a Kit also. A friend and I had built it. I had the thing quite a while now here. I actually bought it, right when these things first came out. And built it and works great. And my friend, he wanted to get one too after we built it, and then the Luxes came out. So he said, "Oh, I think I'm going to go for the Lux." Like I said, when I bought mine, they weren't making the Luxes. It was just the Mercury 3. So, but I'm happy with it. I'm doing about 600 watts here. Let me look here, 650, something like that, and that's usually enough to get along. So, yeah, like I said, any more power around here, I just might get myself in trouble with it. I get myself, into enough. The wife's washing machine, she has to reset that when I run the amp too hot, and appliances around the house. You know how these junky appliances are from from who knows where they're building the boards and everything in there. RF gets into everything, so I'm better off keeping things turned down a little bit here, Doug. Back to you. Let Richie pick it up. Go ahead, Richie. It's your turn. KE3LLT.
Alrighty, KF2 Golf, and sounds like you got a great amplifier there too, Doug. What gets me is I still have it. I have the ALS 1306 Ameritron, and we know that's probably the lowest out of amps, right? But when I bought it, they claim it's a 1200 watt amp. So I figured I just bought it, and I got so many days to return this thing. I am running it at 12, and I'm a long keyer sometimes. I just talk, and I can tell you I used it and kept using 1200 watts, and you couldn't kill that amp. It never got really that hot. Must be a lot of fans in it. Now, I mean, the Lux is like, I know everybody raves about the amp, but I'm a keyer. Sometimes I talk long. And last night, it was getting up there. It shows 50. I mean, it's 45 Celsius right now. It shows 50 in green, then 65 is probably the tops, And I had it up to 72. It was way up there, the temperature Celsius. And I'm saying, now what do I got to do? I got to unkey and let this thing cool off, where if they say it's a 1500 watt, I'm only using 1150. 1150, and it was climbing up there last night, and I'm figuring, so I don't know. But I don't know, I may use it tonight and just let it go all the way up and see what it's going to do, because I know the other one is rated at 12, and like I told you, 1200 all day long. I just keep talking, and it was fine. This one, it gets hot, as I'm talking, and I'm not running even like 13, 14, 1500. I'm running about 1150 watts, and it was getting hot last night.
Well, it'll happen. This thing, if I go long-winded, the highest I've ever had it hit was 43 Celsius. And that's still not too bad. It won't fault at that temperature. Right now, I just started talking. It's 28 degrees Celsius. If I go, there's 29. If I go for about a minute right now, it'll probably creep its way up to like 35, 36. Just hit 30. They get hot. This thing's 50 pounds. It's got a huge heat sink. But I don't like to push the temperature. So when it starts, I also have a separate fan that I put behind it to try to blow some of the hot air coming out of the vent away from it. But when I redid the shack 2 weeks ago, I didn't put the fan back. I need to put it back there. But I had that Mercury for 3.5, 4 years, and I never blew it up. I hit it with 100 watts dozens of times by mistake. It faulted out. I had my dog chewing through coax, SWR shooting up to 10 to 1. It faulted out. I think you're real. If that's abuse, and if that's not blowing it up, I don't know. I think you got to push it down a flight of stairs or something to blow these things up.
What I hear, though, I think it will go into self-protection, which is good then. Like if it gets a certain temperature, then shuts itself down, which is good. And I know on the ALS 1306, some of the guys were mentioned last night, that thing will do like a couple thousand watts. They change out the transistors or whatnot in there, and they put 2 of them in there, and that thing will put out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we moved into this QTH August 1st. So we've been in here a little over 6 months. I finally got the shack laid out the way I want it. I got the antenna up the way I want it. I think I'm good. Now I could just do some interior decorating in here.
It sounds like you're pretty handy. And with the antennas, something, Doug, unless I've had all kinds of things, air cannons, different things shooting up over the trees. And, if you miss, when you shoot that tennis ball out where you want it, you got to run to the vehicle and you got to get your air thing out and fill it up with air to a certain pressure and all of that. It's crazy. I am very, very good with a slingshot. I never had one when I was a kid, but I am good with it. I have 2 4-foot sections. They're fiberglass. They just snap in. Then it's got this big commercial pouch on it. I just put a beanbag in there, and I've got this rope. Instead of fishing line, I've got this rope. It's for trees. I forget what it is. It's slippery polyethylene or whatever, and it's slippery. And I slide over branches, very, very light. So I tie that to the beanbag, and I'll aim it right where I want it. As I'm pulling that whole pouch back, it'll go over any dang tree, and I'll see right the branch I want it on. Now that I'm aiming dead on it, I won't let it go yet. I'll pull the fiberglass pole back a little bit further towards me. So it's going to go up and over. As long as it's not windy, I shot this one up in that tree, and it went right where I wanted it. Boom! First time. And just pulled the rope quick and then tied that parachute rope, that good rope I had, whatever it was, and then tied it up there. But I got to tell you, that's the best thing whenever I got to put up antennas. Unless I'm not forgetting you, Les KF2 Golf. Over to you.
Okay, Richie. That's okay. I'm just sitting here listening. Okay, on shooting the lines up. Yeah, well, I use the fishing pole and slingshot method myself, and the only problem is I'm living in the woods here, so I'm not too shabby at getting the line up to where I want it, except it keeps on going through the trees beyond that, and getting the line back through those without tangling the weight up and ripping it off and starting from scratch gets to be a pain. But like I said, I use this end-fed antenna here. It's good for 10 through 80, and the SWR is beautiful on all the bands. It's less than 1.5 on all the bands. And I could actually use the antenna tuner in the radio if I'm only going to be using 100 watts to take care of that. When I have another antenna tuner that I use here, I have a 10-tech that I use when I run the amplifier, so I, get it to match perfectly. That's the story here. But then I have a 40-meter dipole up for 40 meters. So those are just the 2-wire antennas that I have here. So, yeah. Oh, my. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I do have to get out of here. We're getting company for the game, and they said they were coming here at 5 o'clock, and it's 4:59 according to my clock here. So they should be here any minute, and the wife's up there waiting for me. So enjoy the rest of the evening. Nice to meet you there, Doug, KB2 UKA. And Richie, always good to hear from you. So I'll say 7-3s and enjoy the rest of the evening, guys. I've got to cut out of here. K3LLT. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.
All right, Les. Nice meeting you. I'm down here more often now, so I'm sure I'll catch you again. And enjoy the Super Bowl. Go ahead, Richie. Why don't you say goodbye? 73.
All right, Les, it was good catching up with you again. So, I usually get on. There's a group of people on here. Well, you know that. Usually around 5:30, I guess, or so. So, tell Judy I said hello, and you have a great evening, my friend. KF2, goofy guy. Oh, Doug, back to you, laddie.
So let me tell you my antenna hoisting solution that I have found, Richie. So we move in here. It's the biggest property I've ever had. It's almost an acre and a half. And I'd say about half of it is like finished property. There's a pool, a lawn, blah, blah, blah. The other half is all woods. So I move in here in the middle of summer, and it's like the jungle in the movie Predator back there. Okay, my yard's fenced in. There's a gate. I can enter the woods from the gate, and I want to put the antennas up back there because that's where the 80-foot trees are. But they're very close together. and there's thorns everywhere, and what a pain in the butt to the first antenna I put up here took me 13 hours to get up. Okay. Then I ripped it down. I didn't like it. It was what was it? It was a loop. I ripped it out. Finally, I found a drone called the Fisherman drone. This thing can hold 5 pounds. Guys use it to surf cast. So what they do is they tie their line to the drone on the shore, and they fly the damn thing a mile out. And there's a release mechanism on it. You hit a button on the controller, and it releases the line with the bait, and it drops it a mile out. So you got to have a mile worth of fishing line on the spool, and these guys reel in, and it's like they're out on a boat. It's like they're a mile out fishing, and then they got to reel the damn thing in. But I figured if it could hold 5 pounds, it could hold what I need to do. So now I fly the arborist rope. That's what you're talking about. I fly the arborist rope with a 24-ounce weight. I fly it 200 feet in the air above the tree. I move the drone a little bit over the canopy of the tree. I hit the release, and boom, the weight drops, the rope drops. I could place it pretty much anywhere I want to place it. Now I have the arborist rope over the tree, and I pulled the Dacron rope right over. Now there's no leaves or anything out there. So it was very easy to do this. I dropped my center support, I dropped the far leg, the close leg, and that was it. What I had to do in the summer, I had to fly the doublet itself over the trees and over the low-hanging brush because I couldn't walk it through there. It kept getting caught. So I said, screw it, I'll just fly the whole antenna, ladder line and all, across the yard. My neighbors thought I was nuts.
Holy cow, isn't that neat, though? Oh, man. And it has a release on it. That's the way to go, because I guess it's got the camera, and you're looking down right. What was I going to... Oh, a couple of questions. First, for somebody who just gets a drone, it could be expensive, and then they probably crash it a few times before they learn how to use it, and then it's cost you a fortune to get it fixed, no?
This thing flies itself. It is so stable. It's got 4 propellers. It's probably 2x2. That's how big it is. It's a huge drone. You take off and it just you go up and down. You can spin it in a circle. That's the left stick. So the left stick is up, down, and then if you move the left stick left and right, it spins the drone stationary in a circle. And then the right stick, up is forward, down is backwards, left is left, right is right. And you can hit it. It's controlled by, it connects to, I believe, 12 GPS signals so that you can build a geofence. Like if you fly it too far away, it'll fly itself back. It was costly. It was $1,200, but my kids play with it. I've used it 3 times now for an antenna. Comes with 3 big batteries. It comes with the controller, the remote. And if you're going to be experimenting with antennas, I think it's a good investment. Over.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And when you go up, like say you're pushing it forward, you want it to go upwards, right? Is it like what's the word I'm looking for? Is it like slow and fast? If you go pushing it a little slow forward, it's going up, not like zoom way up fast. Or if you push it forward faster, it goes up quicker.
Yeah, it's throttle controlled. So if you can make it go up and down very slowly or very quickly. It'll fly 500 feet up. I have not flown it that high. And it'll fly about a mile away.
Holy cow. That was like once I was at the Ham Fest, and they had one of those. It was way up in the air. And then all of a sudden it came down about 10 feet above me, and it was, I guess, video and everything at the flea market. I guess the place was using that. I thought, isn't that neat? But yeah, yours sounds like a nice size one to carry 5 pounds, like you say. You could just lift up that ladder line is light. Oh man, you could put up anything you want there without any worries.
No worries, and you could do it alone. That was big for me. I could do it alone. I don't need any help from anyone. I could make as many mistakes as I want, and nobody can make fun of me. The reason it holds 5 pounds, not only do guys use it, it's waterproof also. It's got to be if you're using it over the ocean. But not only do guys use it to fly the line out, what they'll also do, Richie, they'll tie bait directly to the drone. And if they're going for lighter, like 1-2 pound fish, they'll hover the drone over the ocean or over the lake, and they'll put the bait into the water, and now they've got the camera and they can see the fish coming up to the bait. So when the fish bite the bait, they fly the damn fish out of the water and fly it back to shore.
Are you kidding me? No way. That's a tone of a different beat doing that. Fishing. Can you imagine these fishers, how they must love that thing?
They think it's God. They think it's God bringing them food from up above, only to be yanked out of their damn water. And if you land it in the water by mistake and it capsizes, you hit a button and it spins the propellers to right size up it so that you can fly it out of the water if it flips upside down in the water. This thing's amazing.
You kidding me? Yeah, I was wondering that if they could. Holy cow, that's the best thing to get. I mean, instead of fooling with anything else. And then if you're a fisherman too, it puts the bait down, the camera's watching. So somebody like me who gets seasick, like if I go out on a boat, Doug, no, forget it. I'll get seasick right away. So you just sit on the shore and this thing goes up and drops the bait.
You know what I want to do? I live a 1/4 mile from the Long Island Sound. I want to sit on my porch and fly the thing to the water, catch a fish, and then fly it back. The neighborhood would go nuts. They'd see flying fish everywhere.
Yeah, isn't that neat? Yeah, you're right. You send it out. It catches the fish, and you don't even have to be there. Hey, you can deliver packages that are under 5 pounds and make money.
You're right. Oh, God, I can only imagine when I used to smoke. Imagine flying that thing to the convenience store with a note, give me a pack of Luckies and a bottle of water, put it in the basket.
Or go over to the pizza store, get me a couple slices.
Oh, my God. Fly right to McDonald's, put a Big Mac in the basket. That's crazy. But, yeah, the other thing that I use if I don't want to fly the drone, if it's a shorter tree, I use it's called the Big Shot. It's a slingshot, but it's also used by tree guys, and it's on an 8-foot pole, and you get down on one knee and you point it at your target and you pull the slingshot down. If the pole's 8 feet, you're pulling that rubber sling probably 6 feet. And you release it, and that thing will shoot 200 feet up.
Yeah, see, Doug, that's what I have. That's what it is, the Big Shot. I bought it off, I think, with eBay or one of those places. 2 4-foot sections, yes. And then I said to myself, yeah, you pull it back. I was shooting over trees. Then I said, they got a trigger for it. You put the trigger on there. That was the worst thing I could have done. I had that trigger on it. I went out there one day, so I pull it all the way back in, and I pull it all the way back, and I put it on that trigger. It's on there. Now, I was aiming it where I wanted it to go, and I had a lot of pressure on that trigger, and I pulled the trigger. Well, the trigger broke loose. Half of it went up on top of my roof. It ripped across my pinky here, ripped all the way around. Blood was shooting out all of it. So I went and got a lot of paper towels because when I'm on a mission, I don't want to stop. And I got these paper towels all wrapped. It's coming all through it. It's leaking out. And I had to come back inside. And the wife says, you got to go to the hospital now. I said, no, I got to finish this. I want to finish my attempt. I don't know what's wrong with me. I really don't. But so I stayed out there. I was out there for a few hours.
What's up, Glenn?
And it was bleeding constantly. I kept wrapping things around it. So then maybe at 5 o'clock, 5:30 at night, I said, yeah, all right, I'll go. And I went there, and the doctor says, what the hell's the matter with you? He says, look at it. It's almost to the bone. Oh, it was bleeding. I mean, it was bleeding there. They wrapped all stuff because then you're in the waiting room. You go to the emergency room. Look at this emergency room. You're sitting in there, and you wait. But I figured, it's just been like this for hours. So I just kept wrapping it. And then when I got in there, he sewed it all up. It was halfway all around my pinky. But, blood doesn't bother me. Now, my wife has a friend. Her friend, her boyfriend,
his audio's amazing.
Sight of blood. He faints. He cut himself because my wife told me, she said he cut himself and he fainted. I said, what? He fainted. I said, he better never go to the hospital for something. Holy cow. But I don't know what it is. Like I said, when I got cut, they just figured out, wrap it. It's going to be good. But it definitely wouldn't have healed, I guess. He says if it was a few hours later or something that night, because finally I got in there. It was at night. It was dark out, when they took me. They had other people there. And he said it was a few hours later. He says I wouldn't be able to stitch that. Then you wouldn't have been able to do it. But I guess when I'm on a mission to do something, I hate to stop. I want to get it done.
You just scared the crap out of me, Richie. So mine came with the trigger. I guess I bought the kit. It came with the trigger. It came with the rope. It came with the 2 weights. And I don't do it, but you're supposed to have a helmet on and you're supposed to have goggles on. And every time I pull that damn slingshot, I said, if this thing decides to snap right now, it could slit my throat. It could fly off the whole head could fly off and embed itself in my skull. That's a lot of tension under there. You're lucky you didn't lose the finger.
Yeah, it happened so quick. Whoa, oh man! And you know what? I don't know why the hell that thing broke loose.
What's up, Les?
Because it's tension. You
Good
make
to
sure
see
it's
you,
good
brother.
and tight. I had it tight. And here I'm paying attention, looking at the beanbag, and boom! I felt something rip across my finger and up half of it, and it's probably still up on the roof. I think I didn't go up to the cabinet. But, and you know what? Yeah, I like just pulling it back because I can pull it back. I got enough strength to do that and pull it. Me personally, and it probably would never happen to nobody else. Murphy's Law, it's me. But I wouldn't buy one just because that happened to me.
So what I want to experiment with this spring, this doublet's great, right? Like I can tune it anywhere on 80 all the way up to 10 meters. And I'm never probably, like right now, I'm 1.11. That's about the highest the SWR ever gets. I could have got it lower if I wanted to, but I just settled here. I don't think it performed. It's performing well, but you and I are pretty close. When I get and I'm oriented where it's broadside, southwest and northeast, just the way you want it if you live over here, right? So it goes into Europe nice. It's southwest also. I want to try this spring building a half wave 80-meter delta loop, vertical, hanging from one of my 80-foot trees, where a big triangle, you use the, what do they call it? The 75 ohm stub that you have come off the end of it. I want to try to make a monoband 80-meter delta loop and give that a shot.
Doug, can you imagine like a loop for 80 meters? Holy cow. And you got the room there. Oh, definitely. I would do that. That's going to outperform this, and you won't even need this antenna.
Well, this is good because I get on 10 meters, 20 meters, 17 meters, 40 meters. But if I love 80, right? 80's probably my favorite band. I'm a rag chewer like you are. I'll today I went up and worked a little DX, but this is where I spend most of my time. So if I could get a mono band 80, and even though you're hanging those things vertically, you can polarize them horizontally. So I probably would polarize it horizontally because everyone's on a dipole down here, and we see what happens.
Yeah, see, you're doing great because you've got a nice sized property. Here, it's very small. The property's small. There's no way. And years ago, Doug, I put up a DMF.
You hear his bass, guys?
I think
clean
it was G5 RV for 160 through 10, and I forget how. It was 100 and something feet, each leg. So I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? Well, from my backyard property line, there's a tree up there, to the front of the house at the curb, that's got to be about maybe 110 feet or so to that tree in the front. So if I run that all the way out, then there's going to be extra. I'll probably have to wrap it all around the tree, just wrap it around. So I did that, right? Now, the other part of the antenna in the yard, where's that going? That comes down towards my yard. I got all this line. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to the edge of my yard, and I have PVC fencing. I don't know if it's 8 or 10 feet each post, So I went 2 posts. I ran it all the way around, the coated wire around both posts, coming back over itself, going back over itself, back over itself, just on top of it, just going around on the post. Well, do you know, I came in and I was making contacts. I was on 160. I was out there. I said, holy cow. But it was sloppy as anything. If you looked at it, you say. And so I kept it up for one winter. I was talking off it and on 80 meters, and I took it. I just don't have the room, where some people, they have that kind of room. And when I moved here in, I was 22 when I bought the house here. And you know how when you first move into something, you figure it's a stepping stone, get out of here and we'll get something else. And no, the wife is the type person, when she moves somewhere, it's for life. It's like, because I says, what do you think about moving out south? We'll get acres of property. I could put huge towers up if I want, do what I want. No, you probably don't even need permits, But no. She says, everything's close by, everything. And you know what? For years, I used to go to the Hamfest, and she's never bothered me. Never. I would go to Hamfest and buy tons of equipment in my van, amplifiers, transceivers, all kinds of stuff. And she'll say, how was your day? It was good. I bought a lot of stuff. Oh, good. So she never bothered me with ham equipment. So I thought, she always lets me get away with murder. That's what she wants. She doesn't want to move. That's fine. But so I'm lucky for what I'm doing with the 80-meter dipole that I have. It's up there maybe 55 feet up. And it works good. Now, I put a 40-meter dipole up there, and I hardly get on 40, but it works pretty good. I think that's set. But pretty much here, I'm always, on 54. I once in a while will go, like I say, on 40 meters, but I stay here where most people know me, because sometimes, I can get out of hand. I just goof off and play around, and, on 40 meters, somebody hears me for the first time. They'll say, who's this nut?
Let me tell you, I grew up on a quarter-acre lot. I moved as a kid, quarter-acre lot. My first house was a quarter-acre lot. My second house was 0.18. I moved a bunch, right? So I'm 43. So I had a house before I got married. I got married. We sold it. We had to move to Connecticut for my job at the time. And I bought my second house in the middle of Connecticut. That was 0.18. And then we moved back to Long Island 11 years ago. That was like 0.2, 0.23. Same thing, 100 feet pretty much from the back to the front, 55 feet left to right. And this time I said, if we're moving again, I'm getting land. I don't care. The taxes are going to kill me. I don't care. I want the land. So now I've got the land. And it just so happened that half the land is woods. So that's like a dream come true for me. She doesn't care what I do back there, what I hang back there. I've got a pass through from the woods underneath the fence, underneath the walkway, right to the garage wall. I could drill right through the garage wall, run all the cables and coaxes back there. And the shack is in the basement opposite a garage wall. So I've got easy entry. But you can make it, look, you sound great. Your signal's strong. I made it work on quarter-acre lots my entire life. The last house that I was in for 11 years, I had a 43-foot vertical. I had 120 65-foot ground radials surrounding that thing and a legal limit remote tuner at the base of the antenna. Now, you would not be hearing me as strong as you hear me because it's a vertical. You'd be hearing me probably S8 right now, but for everything else that was far away, it was gangbusters. It was a big performer. But local stuff sucked. Like I moved here, I put up the doublet I've got like 5 new friends on Long Island that I didn't even know were ham radio operators who operate every day that never heard me, and I didn't hear them.
JF2 Golf. But Doug, see, you were lucky. All those places you lived at. Here, this town is very, very strict in Cedar Grove. You will not put up a 40-foot vertical. You won't do any of that. The town will tell you 15 feet. That's all you're putting. That's it. They're not letting you do nothing else. Well, suppose I attach something in my tree. That's not a tower. That's nothing right there. Nothing in the tree, 15 feet. Suppose I put a flagpole in front of my house, 15 feet. It's like they're very, very strict. And their reason, and they have that ARRL bill within reason. Well, there's the loophole. They'll say, well, it's within reason, 15 feet. It's 50 by 100. If he has 40 foot up there, it's going to fall over and endanger lives next door on the property. They think of everything. I had a tower up there. I put a 41-foot tower up, Texas tower, heavy tower, cranked up to 41 feet. It would crank down to 12 feet. So I went to the town for permits. They said 20 feet at the time. It was 20 feet years ago. Okay, so I had it all done. They came out to inspect it. I had it at 15 feet, not even 20. Yep, then they left. I had it up for 16 years. At least 16 years. I had a UHF repeater up there. I had all kinds of things on there. And 16 years, and all of a sudden a neighbor not directly behind me in my backyard, the next house over, complained to the town, and the town said, take that tower down. I says, it was 41 feet. What am I supposed to do? And then if I had lowered it down to what they said, 20 feet, my repeaters and everything, it wouldn't have done anything. So I gave it all up, got rid of repeaters. I had 2-meter repeater up there, UHF repeater. The town is very, very, very strict. So that's when I got out of repeaters and I put wires up there, and I was happy. Everything works fine. But if I want to go in that yard and put up a 40-foot vertical, nope, the town would be right all over me.
KB2 UKA. Yeah, I know. I had one complaint at the last house, but that was because I was running for school board. So somebody finally complained. They said I had a leaning tower. Town came. I go, it's not a tower. It's a 43-foot pole in the ground. They go, yep, sorry about this, and left. I bet, are you allowed, now I know my wife wouldn't allow this, but are you allowed to put a 5-foot tower on your roof?
Yeah, the wife don't like nothing on the roof. She's afraid that, because, it goes back. It goes back. At all the years I've been here, I only needed to use insurance once. Years ago, maybe year 2000, maybe it was. The wife was at bingo, and there was a thunderstorm. It hit a big weeping willow next door. I had repeaters here, everything. The tower, it just, boom, it blew out a lot of my equipment out on the porch. My computer, my radios, my repeaters. Weeping willow came down, and I had a wire going from the chimney all the way wrapped around that chimney, and it was going to the yard. Well, the weeping willow next door came down. It came slowly on there, yanking, and pulled the flute out of the chimney with some bricks with it, put a hole in my roof, and it was raining. I said, son of a gun, I'm up there trying to put stuff in the roof, so it was coming near the circuit breakers. And the wife came home, and I said, yeah, I lost all my equipment. I said, now I got to go out and buy all. She says, no, we should be insured for that. I said, I doubt that very much. But she's an insurance nut. Always everything. When I met her when I got married at 19, I didn't want no insurance, health insurance. I don't need it. I'm young. No, we have to have this. So I said, I doubt it. I called up the insurance people. They came to the house. They looked at my equipment. I said, here, everything's plugged in. You try anything you want. And he didn't care to try nothing. He said, receipts. I said, what's that mean? He says, if it can't be repaired, then replace it. So I had it at Motorola, the repeaters. He pulled out all boards. He had to put new boards in. Radios couldn't be repaired. All radios, new computer, everything they did. I could not believe it. I said, wow. So I was happy about that. So now I'm always cautious. I only used them once. I've been here since 74, and all the years I've been here, but they came through. I thought that was great. So now if I hear thunder or anything, I just unplug things. But because the wire was up around that chimney, I had it where that tree pulled it out, and the chimney came down. Yeah, she doesn't like nothing on the roof, Doug. I'm always in trouble.
Nah, I don't blame her. I don't blame her either. And then you put that tower up on the roof. You got to go into the attic and support the beams perpendicular to the beams and everything. But I know guys that do that. They do a 5-foot fold over on the roof. They go up there, they fold it down, they put their antenna on it, they pull it back up, and they bolt it in place. But you sounding good, Richie. I think you're good. I think you're good. Now, if I didn't move, that was going to happen. A tower was going on the roof. But then I worry because my kids are up there. I'm like, you know what? If lightning hits it, even if things are unplugged, you're gonna feel that. Your hair's gonna stand up if lightning hits an antenna on a roof tower and you're right underneath that roof tower. So yeah, it's probably better off. All right, Rich, I'm going to get out of here. My wife's making all the goodies. I smell them cooking, so I'm going to go pick before the game starts. Hope you have a beautiful week. I'm sure I'll catch you one evening this weekend. God bless, and 73 Rich, KB2, UKA. I'll listen out. Take care.
Always good picking up with you, Doug. And yeah, when that lightning hit, I never heard it so close. When it hit next door, I jumped out of my chair. I was on a porch here. Boom! Only 2 times I really got that scare. That one time, and then I almost got shot with a bullet. It just missed me. I was in the shower, and let me look over here. I know right where that hole was. Right above, maybe a foot away, it would have hit me. It went into my porch on the wood there. Otherwise, a foot away, it would have came through the glass and got me. That's another story I'll tell you about a neighbor with his son. They were going target shooting, and his son just shot the gun in the yard and came in. That's another story to tell you. But enjoy the game. I hope you got a nice, easy chair to sit in. Lean back, put your foot on the ottoman there, your feet, and eating all that stuff, sliders, hamburger, everything, and saying to your wife, hey, hon, don't get better than this. 7-3, Doug. Catch you tomorrow.
All right, Richie. Yep. And I'm going to tell her she did a great job. Great job. When you tell me the gun story another time, I thought it was going to start with, so my wife was cleaning her gun, because that's how it would happen to me. 73.
That was a good one, Doug. 7-3.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Enjoy the game.